everyone thought you need to talk in a very abstract way. You need to have stories and loops and whatever. But in the end, every sale basically came down to, do you ask the right questions? How can you ask questions that make them recalibrate their current status? And question, is what I'm doing so far the correct way?
Hey guys, this is Kris Sugatan, and you are about to listen to an episode with Alexander Ulreich. Alexander, he has been doing sales and marketing for 25 years, and he was a former senior director inside Groupon and Yelp. And in Groupon in particular, he oversaw their sales up to 700 million from when Groupon first started. And he also worked with Rocket Internet, which is an entity based in Europe. They basically copied American successful business models. And he was so successful in what he was doing that many people came to him directly to seek for his advice. And out of that, he created his own growth marketing agency based out of consulting. And until today, he doesn't have a website. He is only on LinkedIn, and you can find his link on the show notes. And that's how you connect with Alex. And he's such an interesting, fascinating person. He's somebody that I love to just talk to for 2 hours to shoot the shit on marketing. I really hope you guys enjoy what we cover, which is his core marketing philosophy that he truly is very passionate about, and what he believes is going to be the pillars of success inside e-commerce marketing, because that's what he's currently doing inside his own agency. So enjoy the episode, guys.
Alex, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you, every time that we do have a chat or when you engage with me, because I see you as somebody who has a perspective. I always say that e-commerce and digital marketing in general has multiple dimensions to it. And you come in from a different dimension based on obviously your historical experience working with Groupon, working with Yelp, and building other companies, and now having your agency that is basically coming to you from word of mouth, right? Because of the success that you've created for these other large companies. So thank you for taking the time to contribute to our community, because I think that one thing that is a very big topic for you that we've discussed together in the past that I do want to deep dive in is starting the conversation from having an emphasis on the people that your business is serving. And so let's start with one, what are some of the things that you're seeing as a general conversation with all the, let's say, thought leaders currently inside digital marketing? And then let's start with your philosophy, that you've seen actual success in applying these methodologies in Groupon, in Yelp, and in some of these other big businesses that you've actually scaled from the ground up as well.
Yeah, so 100%. The thing is what I often say, the marketing scene is taught that you can manipulate someone from seeing your ad to landing on your shop to buying immediately. And it's just some magic trick, some magic hack that you just need to know about, like how to lower your CPM, how to increase your click-through rate, how to improve your engagement on your ad, how to A/B test your landing page and shop to magic high conversion rate numbers that just will convert people while you're sitting on the beach, drinking champagne, eating some strawberries with some ice cream and getting a massage. And I heard the same 25 years ago when in sales and for speakers and everything, the introduction was NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, came from Richard Bandler and Robert Dilts. They invented it. And what they actually did, I think it was either Stanford or Harvard, what they did is they analyzed the best communicators worldwide throughout history and found those little snippets that they used psychologically and other ways to manipulate people, to make people do whatever you want them to do. And from the whole sales world jumped on it. Like everyone thought you need to talk in a very abstract way. You need to have stories and loops and whatever. And to a certain degree, that was all correct. But in the end, every sale basically came down to, do you ask the right questions? Can you build a relationship and bond with someone so he even likes you and trusts you and even listens, openly listens to the message that you're delivering? Because you can have the best message on the planet. If nobody's listening or they're not open-minded about what you're saying, it's not going to be fruitful in their mind. So how can you build that relationship? How can you build that engagement? How can you make them interact with you in a way? How can you ask questions that make them recalibrate their current status and question, is what I'm doing so far the correct way? Or is maybe the new way that this guy is suggesting better and optimized way? And when we talk, and what we always see is that everyone is just talking about the tactics, the strategies, the tips and tricks, and how to calibrate the colors on your ads so the click-through rate goes high, the text, the bullet points, and whatever. And that's like saying, oh, if you want to improve your sales conversion rate as a field sales guy, you just need to have a better car, better tires. It depends on your suit. If you're wearing the right suit, it's going to magically convert everyone you're talking to. Haircut is a super important thing. Your smile, your teeth, and nothing could be further from the truth. It all comes down to the basics. Can you get someone's attention for a message that you want to deliver? Do you have an offer that's really irresistible and that's eye-opening? Do you have a product that draws attention that you can demonstrate, where you can tell a story, show some value props or whatever it is? And can you then funnel them through an experience that at the end of that experience, they don't abandon cart. They don't stop and don't do their checkout. Well, actually, suddenly you do those changes, you see 80% checkout rates, 5% cart abandon rates, because they are so pre-sold that once they are ready, they will just buy it, follow through with it. And the only reason they're not doing it, maybe their credit card didn't work, or they have been at a spot in time where it just didn't work. But in all the other cases, they are so sold on the idea of the founders like Sarah Blakely with her shapewear, where she was like an expert going, she didn't do some hacks and tricks. She spent 2 years in retailers selling every single shapewear piece herself, showing others how to sell it. And then she built an audience, a movement, and that movement built so much social influence for her brand then that she could like roll out, and today it's $1 billion
It's
company.
funny you like mentioned Sarah Blakely, because I talked about Sarah Blakely yesterday, because Sarah Blakely, during that initial 2 years, she went to so many suppliers and she learned that all these suppliers were men. All of them were men that was creating the shapewear. She was like, well, no wonder it was so uncomfortable, because they didn't really know what it was like to be a woman that was actually wearing these pantyhose, because, she was like, and she made a $300 million revenue business out of the fact that I understand the woman, I understand our problems. I mean, she created a cult following too, which is really amazing. I'm curious to know like some of your ways that you do get into the mind of the buyer and the persona, because I know that every single founder gets lost in this. Let me tell you, when we go into developing in our experience inside Sugatan, we scale them, through those tactics, right? Through creative production and through media buying methodologies. And then we start to have the conversation around the brand, right? Which is like, and I remember the last business that we were working with around this, they were trying to identify their avatar. And we called her Victoria. And the founder was just getting so lost, because one of the things that they are afraid to do is to actually commit to a core avatar, right? Because let's just say that there are 5 different types of women who would use the product in this beauty category, right? And they start to get lost from there. And I'm curious to know what your feedback is about that, because when I think about, and I'm relating it to Groupon because this was such a personal experience for me with my best friend, who is a big Groupon advocate, who was also the organizer for our group of girlfriends. She would always be like, look, guys, we got to go here for Friday night because there's a awesome Groupon deal that I found 2 days ago that if we go here, then we get the happy hour, first two cocktails are free, right? And I felt like Groupon understood her. Go back to Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. When he was creating the book, he didn't know if his tone should be academic, should it be casual, should it be like a story, like, and then he decided that he was going to target men like him and that he was going to make it more informal, more casual, more storytelling based on his experiences. And then it ripples out to the other core demographics or to the other sub demographics, because he did it so well with that demo that then everybody start to talk about it to all their friends. They start to bring in their girlfriends, their wives or whatever, start reading the 4-Hour Work Week. Pia, I was like, oh my God, I got to go on Groupon now. I got to go see what the deals are, because she brought me into it, but it was like targeting that core first. And I think that from like founders' perspective, what do you typically advise them when they get stuck? They don't know exactly how to think about this.
Usually you can only step into a business and scale it or like do your magic with tactics and strategies if that funnel is already converting, meaning that product is already selling. 100%. It's proven. They are usually like 10, 20, 30,000 a month. And then you get in, you just do it better because you understand the holistic approach of marketing.
Yep.
And it goes to that. But that would limit me to a certain amount of success rate, because I would miss on all those that are hard to make work. And usually agencies, what they do is they just blame the client after 3 to 6 months and say, I'm sorry, it was your fault. They fire them, they find the next one. And that's an ongoing process. For me, it's more, so I'm not thinking about demographics. I'm thinking about pain points. And what we did at Groupon, I come from the team that came from Rocket Internet, right? Rocket Internet, European company builder, built a lot of companies globally, best known internationally for copying American successful business models and executing them in Europe to then sell that business to the OG US company for a high ROI. Doing still the same in Asia, in Australia. The Iconic is a huge brand there. Africa. Me coming from that team, they actually built a company, My City Deal, which was like a copycat of Groupon. In the US, it already took off. Spies saw that, everything was done, copied at pages. Rocket Internet was even sued for that. We literally took the page, the code, copied it, changed the colors, and went on with that. The founders, I think it was 2 or 3 original founders, they even went downstairs, closed the first deals with the sushi restaurant just down there, just to get something up and running and going from there. And what we quickly learned is that Groupon is not about what your age is, like it's not 18, 25, or 65, male or female, city slicker or rural chillaxer.
Right,
it was all about the pain point. And the pain point was a lot of amazing offers in local businesses, restaurants, theaters, cinemas, event places are high priced. And they demand that high price because they offer an amazing experience to you. But a lot of people could not or wouldn't afford that. So there was a pain point in the market. And we solved that pain point. So the first initial market was just everyone who liked going out, who liked spending time outside, but wasn't yet ready to pay full price, just to see if that's something that works. And from there, it developed later on I think we reversed the cocooning effect that happened in the 90s and early 2000s, the cocooning effect of people just sitting at home and rather consuming cheap popcorn and pizza at home instead of going to the cinema. So we draw those people out of their homes and put them back into local businesses. And that was a win-win for both situations. And that's what I usually say. How can you make your product be such an amazing offer that people want to buy it? At Groupon, our job was not to sell the end consumer on buying Groupons. People loved buying Groupons. Our job was to sell the business on making the deal, even though they didn't have to. And we came up with ideas of you have a 80% busy rate of your restaurant. You have like side hours. You have like, I don't know, whatever it is that we can fill for you. So you increase your bottom line. You get new customers into your house who learn about your service, learn about the experience, and come back full priced, which turned out later that they didn't. But it's more about the pain points and what are the pain points in the market. Because once you found one pain point, let's say anxiety issues. Let's take something abstract, right? Anxiety issues. That could be man or woman. Tendency, it's more woman actually. And once you found that, now it's not about a limitation to your product. You could offer them meditation, therapy, motivational seminars, events, books, audios. You can offer them whatever you want because you found a pain point that people want to solve,
right?
And are able and willing to pay for it, whatever they feel comfortable with, to make it go away. I had a conversation like 2 weeks ago with someone who sold wiper blades for cars, which is very transactional usually. But transactional, your business is limited at a certain ceiling. But once you change that into a pain point, what is the pain point? Security, love for your family, for your passengers, all of those risk averse and stuff like that, then the whole game changes, because you start with selling wipers. You sell probably a lot more if you know how to tap into that pain point of security. More car accidents happen while it's raining than while being drunk. More car accidents happen while it's slippery and visibility is low than while think about your family, think about your future. What if dad doesn't come home today just because he saved $10 on wiper blades? Think about it. Now we sell you some wiper blades. But then you can even go on, because now you found an audience that's, let's say, security focused. That could sell now insurances. You could sell cleaning kits. You could sell whatever you have. You could do JVs. You can do partnerships. You could even your business can be an affiliate and sell even more. And it's until now, it's a long story. Until one, we haven't said a single thing about, do we use an ABO or CBO? Do we do image ads or video ads? Do we use a pre-sale page or do we do directly to shop? Because it doesn't matter. The journey, how people buy, does not matter. People like buying offline. People like buying online. People like buying on TV. People like calling businesses and just order online if they're older. We had a study with Facebook recently, Messenger. A lot of people that are ordered by Messenger are people who are not familiar how to order online. I was mind blown when people were actually there, when we you just need to check out here, here's the link. And they came back and they're like, how does that work? Can I order it with you? So it's more about find me a pain point, build a solution, and you need to help your clients sometimes with building that solution. Create an offer that's so amazingly irresistible that people would go from here to Timbuktu to get it, and then deliver it. And one of the people who said it, I think it was actually Zig Ziglar, that said, I think he already passed away, but he was big in the 80s, 90s, motivational and sales trainer in the US. Zig Ziglar said, if you take away from a smoker his last pack of cigarettes at 1 a.m. in the morning, he would probably walk to the next city just to get a pack of cigarettes because it's so important to him. It does not matter, is the page fast loading? Is it an ABO or CBO? Can he order by phone, quiz, or whatever? No, he wants to find the solution that you offer him to the pain point that you sold him.
Let's go back to the irresistible offer. Because I think about, when you say that, I relate everything to my own shopping experience, to be honest with you. And I think about Casper, actually, when Casper first came out, and they created, to me, a very irresistible offer, which was try it and then you can return the mattress. I think at that time it was in 30 days, like no questions asked. And that was unheard of in the mattress. And also Casper came in targeting the younger millennials, because prior to that, I'm an older millennial and I would get the commercials about mattresses with like the funny cartoon guy, being like, come on in to this like old, miserable looking mattress company to buy your mattress with your boyfriend or your husband or whatever. And Casper was the first to speak to the millennial demographic in a way that was relatable. And they created this, like, you can return it anytime, for a full refund upon 30 days. Now, I don't know if those retailers actually said that, or I don't know, but like definitely when I was being advertised to go to these other sources for mattresses, they never said or emphasized the bring it back, no question asked within the 30-day period. Of course, it's a bitch to actually return a mattress, because then that means that you have to go through the whole shopping experience all over again. But I guess my question for you is like, how do you go about when you start to work with businesses? How do you go about finding that irresistible offer, for example? Do you want, and I can proxy it to an actual like fake, let's call it a business. If you want me to, or you probably have something in mind that maybe is a most recent experience or something.
I would like to insert here, because we helped a mattress startup. So I know we did the research, we know the insights. People actually change their mattresses only every 7 years, which is way past the time that you actually should do it. You should change your mattress every 2 to 3 years, because there's a lot of bacteria, there's a lot of fleas and all that kind of stuff that increases 100%. That body over a year. So there's a lot of humidity that builds up in your mattresses and all that kind of stuff. So we did that research. So there's a lot of pain points in there already. Yeah. And the majority of people doesn't even turn the mattress from one side to the other. That's how it's a huge thing to move in your thing. So coming up with the idea of people only buy mattresses if they can test lie on them in a shop. So you lay down, you feel it. Oh yeah, that's a perfect one. Whatever. They came across that by just using a composition that works for everybody. So for the majority of people, it works. It doesn't matter what your body type is. It's comfortable and it will satisfy you. And the brand we worked with, they had like a 365. They still have a 365 refund guarantee. Buy our mattress, sleep on it for a full year, and if you don't like it, full money back after a year. Who does that?
Interesting.
And the thing is, the amount of increases in conversion rate you get with such an irresistible offer is so much higher than whatever refund rate you will face, that it's worth it. The engagement on your ads is so much higher that today I posted in your group, because a lot of people, they exclude purchasers, past purchasers. We all know segmentation. It's the stupidest thing you can do. Why? Your past purchasers are the ones who know your product, and they're most likely to say something about it and comment about it if they see that ad again. So
100%.
The CPM is, let's say, $50. So to reach 1,000 of your past customers, you're paying $50. But that extra engagement that they bring with comments, social proof, testimonials, pays so much more than those $50 The algorithm is happy. It thinks high engagement. You have a full conversation with them. Everyone who sees that ad for the first time reads through that and thinks like, oh my God, it's amazing. We have ads that have like 1,500 comments on them. And it's like long form. It does more of the heavy lifting in sales than the landing pages. So why would you exclude
exactly.
it? You wanna build that thing into your offer and build it up. And here we are with that mattress company where 365 days refund guarantee. Most people buy probably with the idea, I'm going to return that thing. There is some people actually who buy it with the idea of returning it. We know it. We have some exchange things with other brands where there are lists shared of people who refund everywhere. They just use your mattress for 6 months, refund it, buy with the next shop and whatever.
That's like actually a barrier for a lot of founders to actually commit to something like that because, with the skincare brand, we did the whole like free sample, and then free sample, like the actual product, not even a small version of it. It was the actual bottle that was sold for retail. They get that for free, and they can try it for the first 2 weeks for free completely. And then, and then it was like the whole thing kind of stops because they're like, somebody's cheating the system. And then they kind of like the conversation goes to emphasizing the small percentage of people that are actually cheating the system. What is your thoughts on like those people who are gamifying the system? Like as in, is it so much of a big risk to stop the whole initiative altogether?
You will have people who game you and play you. Like we as an agency, what we do, and I think of my time extremely valuable. Like we are an extremely expensive 100%. Agency. We don't do any $3,000 or $5,000 work or this kind of stuff. I give everyone who comes to us, or come from referral, a free audit. That takes me a week or 1.5 weeks. I dive deep. Yes. I review heat maps, user sessions. I go into your Google account, your YouTube account. I go into your Microsoft account, Facebook. I collect all that data. I go through your email list. I do like a recency, RFM analysis, recency, frequency, monetary value. I go through everything. But first of all, because I want to understand, is that a business that we can help with? Or maybe we don't. And on the other side, I want to prove how does it look like working with us before someone even comes on. And I'm not saying this because of promoting my agency or whatever, but I'm saying this, I get gamed regularly. Like as I just said, that recent.
Oh my God, this is like, so we're accepting applications right now. And like we go through such a deep dive as well that I'm just like, holy shit, they can actually take our recommended strategies and try to like execute it themselves and they'll get results. It is so valuable, this audit in such a deep level. And I know how from the time that you and I have interacted, I know how deep you go. But yeah, sorry to segue. Go ahead.
So about this gaming thing, and as I said, that recent exchange that I had with someone, I think I got gamed 100%, but I don't care because those few that play and game and just interact with you to get all of those insights, they are out competed by all those big accounts that we get, who would have probably never hired us because we don't have any. I don't have like a 5 million page website online. There's one person in my network who will refer you to me, who will say, if you need someone XYZ, marketing, full stack, whatever, that's the team, talk to them, nobody else. They come to us, I don't update LinkedIn. I think we have a 1-page landing page and that's it. You need to interact with me. But you're so outcompeted by all those big things that happen that I accept the others. And the same is for all our e-commerce clients. When we have most of our e-commerce clients don't do discounts. So they don't even do 5%, 10%, whatever. They are so high level on their brands and whatever. And you can sell that easily. As I said, it's all about selling, not so much about the transactional. Hey, you visited the store 2 days ago. Here's 10% extra discount. No,
Right,
just like
right, right.
sell it, then those will go away. And the conversion rate will so dramatically increase that those who play you don't matter at all. But think from it from the other perspective. What most people do, what happens if you do the classic way? 7-day refund guarantee, 14-day refund guarantee, or jump through 7 hoops to even get it. Like I once wanted to refund a product. They had me to write a full-blown outline what I did with the product. I'm
Yeah.
the guy who is determined. I'm jumping through those hoops, but you will see that in lower conversion rates on the
Yeah.
initial thing. You will see that on negative comments on your ads. You will see that in a lot of hesitancy, non-believing, there's so much that goes through it. And you can only win if you believe so much in your product and so much in your audience that you think whatever happens, the only thing is in my mind as a business is I want you to be happy. If you're not happy, and now I quote Russell Brunson, I don't deserve your money.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all about it. Like if you as a brand, it could be mattress, could be cosmetics or whatever, use it. You need to believe in your product. So you can't sell some, sorry to say that's not racist, some Chinese drop shipping stuff that everyone sells. It should be iterated and there should be some product innovation on it, but then offer it in a way that's irresistible for people to try, test, and fall in love with, and then blow them out of their mind with customer service, follow-up, where even yesterday I had a call with one of the founders and I told her, I need you to write every purchaser a one-liner. Hey, it's XYZ. I'm the co-founder of XYZ.
Yeah.
You bought from us 2 weeks ago. I just wanted to check in and see how you're feeling. And if there's anything we could improve on, what is it? And you need to write it. And I told her, you need to write it one by one. We're not going to do any automation. You're not going to sit on the beaches and whatever, one by one, because I want you to interact with them. Learn from the feedback. Maybe we need product innovation. Maybe everything is perfect. Those people will fall in love with you. They will talk about to their mom, friends, co-workers, everyone on the bus station, on the subway. They will talk like that's a brand everyone knows that did exactly that did so much product innovation that people share it to everyone, even who refuse to listen to it anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting because I actually think of Oatly, and I think I've shared with you my sentiment with Oatly because, I was the person, there's so many people out there that has to be dairy free. And the only alternative was almond milk, which tasted like napkin. And then there's soy milk, which is like all these things about how soy is like bad for you and, all the crazy diet stuff, they put it in that category about what soy is. And then Oatly came out and it was like, it tastes like dairy, so we don't compromise on the taste, but it's dairy free. And it was so simple. And I was like, oh my God, great. It tastes amazing. And then I go into looking into Oatly better. Their branding was just, just through their branding alone, they were able to communicate their values. And I'm a marketer. And the reason why I'm a, decent marketer is because I'm the person that actually believes and consumes the things that are presented to me, And when I first got to Oatly's website, I remember telling my whole team, I was like, Oatly is personifying the brand without even putting a face on it, and it's just through really good copy that then overlaps into their design, and it's so consistent all across the board. No wonder they blew up. It was a great product and it was great branding. And then I went and told everybody about Oatly. And I remember Delana, I hired her back in February and I was in Mexico City and I was like, you never heard of Oatly? Oh my God, Oatly is amazing. You got to get oat milk, and that's like I think for me personally, I aspire to actually to oversee a brand that successful, which takes a lot of work and commitment to optimize your product, because the founders of Oatly, they were scientists, they were actually professors, and they perfected that product over years through scientific research. And then to get to a level where they understood how to build a team that executed really well on their branding. I mean, it really is, I think, I think Oatly, I don't know if they went public, but for sure they're going to go public if they haven't already. I mean, that's like 20 years of like honing in on their craft. You know what I mean? And yeah. And so I think that right now, for example, I'm getting leads and businesses who are 19 years old. They starting from drop shipping and then creating it into a brand. Two, what I'm seeing too is that drop shippers are now moving into, let's create some brands, and they're creating like portfolio brands. And I don't know, it's just really interesting because you're just seeing the sort of like e-commerce as a gold rush kind of thing, and so I'm just curious as to what you think are the ones who are going to survive, or like after you being doing this for like over 20 years, 25 years now, like what are some of the things that are going to be those businesses that are going to be quote unquote successful in the sense of actually being a legacy brand that really makes impact in the world, like Groupon, like Yelp, something that I use every day, like Oatly.
There's one issue in that question, and that question, it always evolves around the biggest brands, the biggest successes. Right. How to be like Tesla, how to manage like Elon Musk, how to play basketball like Michael Jordan. You're not going to play like Michael Jordan. Right. Michael Jordan was a monster. His jump ability was above everyone. The air that he's known for, the fadeaway jumper, even if a lot of 80% of the other people who wanted to try it, they just didn't have the air time to even copy him. So you're not going to do a lot about it. The issue that I'm having is that a lot of people, I think, don't understand that your growth rate and your max size of your business depends 100% on the market you're in and the trends behind it. So I'll give you an example. A few years back, when we also started to do Amazon PPC and Amazon management for our clients, we hired consultants. And during the interview process, the final two, there was one guy, he made with his brand 28 million a year. He had one exit, but he always did like $3 to $5 million businesses. Way less business. The other guy, 28 million. When I talked to the guy for 28 million, that guy had no clue about anything. Like seriously, I questions how he came there. He was like, everything he said, it didn't make much sense. There was no process, there were no tactics. He talked mostly about his success and what he could do for it. And that's how you usually can determine if someone actually knows what they're doing or not, if they just talk superficial about those above layers, right? The other guy who just was around the 3 to 5 million, he knew the ins and outs. Like that guy was a genius marketer and knew everything. We ended up hiring him. What was the difference? And after 5 or 6 weeks, I realized that $28 million guy, his first product was a ventilator, like an air cooler for laptops, for gaming laptops. He stepped into the gaming niche at a time when gaming blew up. He was just participating in a huge and highly growing market.
Right, of course.
And he just got swept with it. That was amazing. So the other guy, he stepped into markets that were way smaller, and it didn't matter how much he knew. He could never outperform the guy in a bigger market with a bigger trend. Now, everyone always asking, and I see even there's the guy who sold Twitch. He has a YouTube channel. I'm saying something negative, I shouldn't, but he's like, oh, this is how I did it, and this is, bro, you were lucky.
Yeah.
That's it. End of story. You rode that wave. That's amazing. I love you for it. You did a lot of stuff. It's all about your ego, but you were lucky to be at the right time, at the right place, in the
It's good
right
timing.
market.
Yeah.
But now everyone always thinks, so I just need to research, analyze, and go to a Facebook group and ask, guys, what are the best markets to build a business in? Super smart, because everyone's going to tell you. The problem is, I worked for company builders. What they do day in, day out is nothing except of analyzing what are the next big trends. And they are failing 9 out of 10 companies, because you cannot predict what a trend or where the trends will happen. It could be that the next streaming is one of those things. Like streaming nowadays is what we did 1996 with those chats. I remember 1998, I think. We had those chats and they looked exactly the same. There was like lines all in different colors and you were talking with people you didn't know. That's what streaming is now about. Just that you're like looking at someone talk about something, or maybe playing a game, or it's just entertainment. Nobody could have predicted that that's going to happen. If you would have asked people at the beginning of it, business people, they would have all told you, oh my God, that's never going to work out. My suggestion for everyone who wants to build a business and a brand, first of all, forget about the monetary goals. Yeah. Please don't build a business because you want to make money. You're going to work your ass off and end up in a stressful life. To the top, there is no 4-hour work week and laying on the beaches. And I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. He's making millions and he doesn't work at all. No, okay. I get it. But in 9 out of 10 cases, you're going to work your ass off. You're going to fail every other day. And the only thing you have influence on is building an audience. And that's what you should do. What you should do is find an audience that you're somehow passionate or that you could fall in love with. My biggest audience is moms. That's what we in e-commerce, I know more about moms than moms before they become moms. I know everything about postpartum issues with your
body changing,
downstairs, everything. I know the ins and outs because I served them. I read millions of their comments. We surveyed them. So now we're in the tactics, right? So how do you find out all about the market that you want to go into? You build an audience, you build a group, you build a Facebook group around them, you do organic testing, you build some ads, you see what the comments are, you build some landing pages, like pre-sale pages. It's a must nowadays because you can quickly iterate, you can extend the sales process from your ads on the pre-sale page before they land on a shop to check out. User session recordings, heat maps, Google Analytics. We have our own system that tracks from first click to landing page to shop to checkout to whatever they do. You can message with them, talk with them, invite them to events, write them a postcard. Like if you write your client, every single, I had a mentor of mine, he wrote every single client he had a birthday card, every single one. I took over from him. That was early in my career. People loved him. That was amazing. Just from that little idea that he stole from Joe Girard, the world record holder in sales. He sold cars in the US, Guinness World Record, and he did that, and he stole that idea from him, sending a birthday card to everyone. That feedback, the time you meet the next time, the referrals you get from that, everything, the impact on your brand, the impact on your business is tremendous. So what every newcomer should focus on is building an audience.
Yeah.
Owning that audience.
It's like the human to human connection. You know,
yeah,
it's
because
like
people buy if they like you, and if they don't trust you, you can offer them whatever you want with the highest level copywriting and psychological tricks and filters and whatever it is, and a Harman Brothers ad and a click funnel that's just built by Russell Brunson himself wearing his golden shorts, and you're still going to say zero. On the other hand, I saw Russell Brunson's one funnel where his earnings per click on a promotion. Earnings per click, 98 or $96. Can you imagine? So every single click earned him $98 because he owns that audience. Owning not meaning they are on your email list. Owning meaning they know him, like him, trust him. If he would tomorrow sell his socks, like buy my 365 socks from the last 12 years and walk in my shoes and become as successful as I was. And if you don't like it, return it, and he builds a webinar around it, people will like cash out their money like crazy because he understands the audience, he knows what they want to buy, and he just offers them to them consistently.
To me, it's easier than ever to actually create a community around your, let's just say, principles, whether that is translated to an e-commerce product or it's your service, right? You can either choose for it to be an e-commerce brand or not. It's up to you. But like, how do you encourage that audience building to happen? Like, what are some of like the first 3 steps, I guess you can say, on like building that audience? How do you find the audience, and then build the audience around you that really resonates with what you're offering, what you believe? So it's not even just about what you offer. It's about what you believe. I think ultimately that's what people are really buying into,
But it's not so different. Like people always make it out like those audiences are hiding like the vampires during the day or so, They're like, oh my God, where are those vampires? I can't find them. I've never seen them, but they must exist. No, they're everywhere. The only thing you need to do is either sell yourself into that audience, meaning you contact influencers, you contact businesses that already own your audience, you go into newsletters, and now it depends on your sales experience. Can you convince them to collaborate with you, or do you need to take some cash, hard-earned money, and pay them? For a new business, I usually think it's way smarter invested than in Facebook ads. Because on Facebook, you it's like a shotgun. Like you're really like doing a shotgun and it spreads out and you hope to hit something. If you collaborate with someone and he actually has owns your audience and is willing to partnership type work with you, not like, oh yeah, you can hire me. No. Let's talk. Let's see if we share the same values. And I could offer your audience something that after you run my promotion, they come back to you and say, oh my God, thanks, Kris. That was an amazing thing that you brought that brand on and shared it with us. We love you for it. So can we build such an, but you basically find them everywhere. The easiest way probably is Reddit, Facebook, TikTok, and whatever, but organically. So there is no sit on the beach, drink your Mai Tais and whatever. Just go into those groups and start being member of the group, not the brand. You need to be part of the group and you need to share value and bring something to the group. And people will see you for whatever you are. And then slowly but steadily, people will check out your brand's page. They will maybe buy from it. You invite more. With the first clients, you engage directly. Everyone, you write an email. Hey, how do you like it? Can I do something for it? Is it the best one? But just adding value. Don't ask for anything. But what will happen, and that's what I teach every single owner, write those emails, only deliver value. After the 3rd or 4th email, most people come back and offer you a testimonial. Hey, by the way, thanks for everything you've done. Where can I write a testimonial? And then you go back and say, hey, it would be even better if you could like shoot a short video. Would that be possible? And already you get people call it user-generated content. Fuck that. It's just your customer using your product, shooting it for you, talking from their heart, and now you post it on your Facebook page. You're not running an ad with it. You're not like misusing whatever. You post it on your Facebook page. Now more and more people see it. They engage with it because it's someone from their member tribe. So they want to engage with that person.
Right,
like,
exactly.
oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you look so good with that product. Oh my God, it's so much. And now you engage. Rule number 2, you need to comment on every single ad, every single post for the first 3 months. And I don't care if you're the owner of a multi-million-dollar business or whatever. I want you to know your audience and I want them to know who you are. So you, with your private profile, Elon Musk from Tesla, and that's what he actually does. A lot of people don't understand that. That dude's working 24 hours a day. He answers his own comments. He's like on this thing all the time. He's interacting. He's shooting a video, even though he's not seen a lot of things, but he is there. He's deep diving in there. So is it difficult to build those audience? Only if you want to make a quick buck, then it's difficult, because what's not going to happen, and that's the reality. I'm sorry to say that. If you start your e-com business today, you're not going to make $1 million tomorrow. Whoever is telling you otherwise never has made anything. I've done it with VC-backed money, and we didn't grow that much. Ask the fitness guy who still looks like a skinny dude who's injecting testosterone like a heavy-ass dude bodybuilder, and he still looks like a skinny dude. Why? Because there's genetics, there's determination, there's diet, there's so much that goes into all of that. So building an audience, it takes time. You're not going to run ads tomorrow, and next week you're going to buy the Lamborghini. So build that audience, find them, interact with them, learn from them, test them organically, and then take it from there. If you have that audience already, now it's about optimizing it and maximizing it. Like a lot of brands that we get onboarded, it doesn't matter if they're 30,000, 100,000, a million, they actually don't interact with their customers and audiences. They tell me, they're like, oh my God, we love our audience and we're so engaged with them and they are like our family. And I'm like, so how come that the last 10 posts here on your Facebook page didn't have a single response from your team? Why? If you love them so much, how is it possible that people ask questions and they're not answered? How many ads did you see in the last week that have like 10 comments? None of them answered. Not even a smiley, not even a like, not even a like, thanks for that question, can we message you? Nothing. So all of that builds because people observe you organically and judge you by things that are outside of your ad, by how you interact, how you perceive, how are you following up with them, how all of that things. And that's usually what's lacking with dropshippers and make money quick guys. They are only in there because they think it's a slot machine where build up a Shopify shop and make that magic product page that converts like crazy from the funnel magic championship team.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen like that. So you need to build it, invest it, and build. Sorry, long story.
I love it. No, I love it because personally for me, we're about to start acquiring e-commerce brands. And we're about to go into that journey. And again, it takes reminding, like, I love people. Like, I really do. I'm always, just today alone, some of the businesses that came and applied with us, we said no to. But then it wasn't like I want to help them. These are great founders, like I just want, it doesn't mean that's it. We don't talk. And then, it was like, I'm on this platform that you can easily reach me and let's just exchange information that can help each other out because I want to see the people succeed, especially all the sacrifices that they made up to this point. I know that I can help them. And to me, it's like, there's that voice in my head that's just like, oh, you're probably going to get taken advantage of or whatever, but I have to reframe it for the love of what I do, and that ultimately it's always going to work out. Like, I just, promoted my director, who's now my director of acquisition. He didn't even know anything about building e-commerce brands. He'd had no ad buying experience. But like through the journey in the last year and a half, he did it for the love. He went above and beyond his pay grade because he focused on the love of it. And he accelerated so quickly in Sugatan. He's so fucking good at what he does, and it's like, I use him as an example from like all the other, ad buyers and senior ad buyers that complain and all these things and expect more than what they're actually giving out. And I'm just like, if you keep your synergy on this, like, I'm not making enough or I'm not getting enough bonuses or whatever. I'm just like, sorry, too bad, so sad, because I haven't really you're in it for the wrong reasons, like we're here because we love what we do, and it's like everything else will fall into place. And I think that that's like such an important message, because you really have to me, the way that I interpret it is that you have to really want to serve the people that you are servicing in a 360 way, not just like in a surface, like, oh, here's a discount, like, and you'll save money. It really is like a deep dive analysis on what they care about. I don't know. Do you find though that is what drives you?
100%. So the thing is just
Yeah.
like, as I said, like if you, what I do what I do because I love sales and marketing. Like I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like other people build, I don't know, they play their games, they build, they do woodworking or whatever it is. I'm obsessed with the topic, and I learn, I listen, I research, I chat, I discuss, whatever it is. It's just a topic that's like, that I love. I love the human psychology in it. I love the technical aspect of it. I'm a very structural, process-oriented thinker, so very analytical. So I'm talking a lot about passion and how to do the message and whatever. Everything I do is looking at numbers all the time. I learn a lot about like click-through rates, about like engagement metrics by reading comments, by listening to calls, by doing A/B tests on pre-sale pages, on quiz pages, on landers, on whatever it is, by seeing what is in the shopping cart, what is on a SMS follow-up nurturing, what's in the email segment. And I'm like, what's open, what's not? Can we test this message against this message? Can we test this image against this one? But that's just to read behavior and to understand customer journeys, to understand where people are interacting, and to understand how people use it. But trust me, even though all those platforms are different, like a Facebook ad should look different than a TikTok ad, a YouTube campaign is set up different than a Snapchat campaign. Like recently I saw a Facebook ad account where the guy like literally split up everything, like on Google, where you Google optimizes on a campaign level, right? So you split up everything into campaigns. You actually have a lot of different campaigns, and he split up the Facebook campaigns. I think there was like 30 or 40 different campaigns, and I'm like, oh my God, how can you even think the algorithm is helping you? That's like just insane. So there is the technical part, but I think even though a lot of people always like talking the technical part because it's sexier, that's not what drives marketing, and that's not what's responsible for marketing success. Because if you usually, like, I'm a cave diver, I love cave diving. Everyone in the cave diving scene talks about the equipment. It's all this fins or this fins, this brand or this brand, this wing or this wing, this stages or this stages. I'm like, who cares, as long as it's doing its job? It's all about, do you know, plan your dive your plan. That's more important. Or on table tennis, like I love table tennis. I had like a neck injury, so I can't do hardcore stuff. Everyone talks about the wood, the rubbers, the glue they're using. Bro, the only thing you should think about is understanding your opponent, predicting whatever he's doing, studying the game, and then training your basics: forehand, backhand, cutting, topspin. That's it. There's nothing more. And actually, if you think about it, all the top high quality teams, I'm a big NFL fan, American football, that's what they do. The games are not won with equipment and that kind of stuff. Games are won by watching film, by strength and conditioning, by studying your opponents, by training your route so many times that even if your coach wakes you up 3 a.m. in the morning and he says 7, 8, 50, boom, you run it in order. You need to know your basics, the in and out.
Yeah.
And that's what I expect someone who comes into the marketing. So I expect you to know how to set up campaigns, how to do tracking, how to do pixels, how to do landing pages, how to do copy, and all of that kind of stuff. So you have a holistic understanding. But now let's focus on understanding who you're trying to serve.
Have you read 12 Rings by Phil Jackson?
No. No.
Oh, you'll love it, Alex. You have to. This is your next book. It's 12 Rings by Phil Jackson, because he talks about how his coaching methodology
Mhm.
through the Michael Jordan era to the Kobe Bryant era, from Chicago Bulls to Lakers and Dennis Rodman and all that, Scottie Pippen and all of that. So I'd love for you to just tell me what you think, because Phil Jackson was an exceptional coach. One of the things that I applied into my team build, even into my meetings, I actually apply it only when I'm doing conflict resolution between my team leaders inside Sugatan. One of the things that he asked is, asking them for permission to be coached by him, which I thought was such a humbling thing to ask. I'm kind of diverting off topic now. You have to read this, Alex, and I want you to tell me what your thoughts are in this as you read it, because it's such a phenomenal a book in general. I actually apply a lot of his principles into the business.
If we would talk marketing now, right, or sales, now you would have hooked me the second, because I'm talking about basketball, so I like it. You come up with Phil Jackson. By accident, I grew up with the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Horace Grant, and who was the blonde guy who
Larry
was
Bird.
in San Francisco? Larry, no.
Larry Bird.
So I was like all around those things. But see, take that for example, because people always say like, what's the best platform to advertise on? What's the best distribution channel or whatever it is? The Chicago Bulls were a winning team until that essential thing that actually made it successful, those 4 people and the leader, Michael Jordan himself, who was like a pain in the ass to everyone. People did not love him. He was such a pusher. He wanted to win. So he brought it on. After that, Chicago Bulls went south like crazy. So it's more about, do you know your basics, and then go somewhere else and do it. But oh my God, I'm going to read that book.
Yes, oh, you're gonna love it. I fucking loved it, Alex. I love it so much. It's one of my most recommended books. I'm actually activating causal graphs. So what they're doing is they're taking multiple data points from multiple sources, not just marketing related, but also taking Shopify metrics, taking our creative production, taking the things that we implemented. This really, it was a bitch to implement, but we implemented a naming convention specifically inside Ads Manager. And I'm exploring causal graphs. So basically what they're doing is they're taking all the multiple data sets, and they're basically going to tell us what are the key drivers as to the reason why people are actually purchasing. That'll be the next conversation that I'm going to share with you, Alex, about this, because I'm pretty sure you have some experience on this. And I'm just starting my journey for causal graphs as opposed to correlation type of like pattern recognition inside data, which is my thing. I naturally gravitate to that kind of data. It's like correlation is pattern recognition. But now I'm really exploring with this methodology about causal graphs, really, because it's so much to consume, and it's like, that's my next evolution, is like, how do we utilize and leverage technology? There's still the human element. You can't escape the human element and the human judgment that takes place in analyzing it. But then the methodology, I feel like, is there a way for us to kind of like make that happen a little bit faster? As always, Alex, it's so fun to talk to you. I really enjoy it. I really value your time, obviously. So thank you for giving to the community. That's, to me, the first and foremost is really, how do we all become better entrepreneurs in what we do, essentially. So
100%. You build an amazing community, and thanks
I'm just starting.
for the chat. And I'm looking forward to further exchanges. Doesn't always have to be a podcast, just like talking, messaging, WhatsApp.
Exactly. When you read 12 Rings, that's the thing I'm really looking forward for you. I love that. Awesome.
Definitely.
Thanks, Alex. Talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode as much as I did, just talking and shooting the shit with Alex. I'd love to bring you guys in on the behind the scenes. This is the exact kind of conversation that we would have if we didn't record it. If you guys are interested in looking up Alex, you can look him up on LinkedIn, and it's the only way to get in touch with him. You guys can see his LinkedIn link on the show notes. Thanks, guys, for listening in. The next episodes, tune in because we're going to be talking about our Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategy, along with some of our successes that we're seeing in scaling our accounts even after the iOS release. So if you're not seeing any success post iOS release, we'll definitely share that with you in the next episodes. Stay tuned.